We usually picture early humans as rugged survivors, pushing through an untamed world. Yet, we constantly hear a statistic that undercuts this entire image. Almost no one in the Paleolithic era lived past 35. That number creates a massive logistical problem. A society capping out at 35 years old means an entire species trying to pass down complex survival skills, like tool-making and seasonal migration, without the benefit of elders. The reality is that this 35-year limit is a heavy misreading of the data. Fossil records show that our ancestors possessed the exact same biological clock we do, with many individual remains aged well into their 60s and 70s. The confusion stems from a simple math error. Blurring a population's mathematical average with its actual biological lifespan has warped our view of early human resilience. The term life expectancy at birth is an average of all ages of death in a given group. It is a calculation, not an expiration date. This chart visualizes prehistoric mortality rates. Instead of a normal bell curve, we see a bimodal distribution, two massive peaks at opposite ends of the lifespan. The enormous cluster of deaths between ages 0 and 5 drags the mathematical average down to roughly 35. But if an individual survived the deadly gauntlet of early childhood, they entered a completely different statistical category. Look at the empty space where the average sits. Almost no one was actually dying at 35. The math gives us a number right in the middle, but the physical reality of the tribe was a group split largely between young toddlers and gray-haired elders. Stepping away from the data, the physical environment dictated those early childhood peaks. Without modern medicine, infants and toddlers were highly exposed to common bacterial infections, seasonal colds, and diarrheal diseases. For those who made it to adolescence, the next heavy filter was the extreme risk of prehistoric childbirth, which claimed high numbers of young adults. Active hunters faced separate daily hazards, where a sudden encounter with a predator or a misstep causing blunt trauma could be instantly fatal. Underpinning all of this was the seasonal threat of starvation. A long winter or an unexpected drought could easily wipe out a massive portion of a tribe. These factors acted as severe, highly specific filters, systematically removing the most vulnerable members of a group long before they reached middle age. Forensic anthropologists don't have to guess about these hazards. The evidence is etched directly into the skeletons. This macro photograph of an ancient femur shows a thick calcified ring where a severe break eventually healed. Skeletons also reveal distinct lines in dental enamel that mark periods of severe childhood malnutrition. By measuring the deterioration of joints and the specific fusion of cranial sutures in these same skeletons, scientists can accurately age individuals who lived for 6 or 7 decades. The fossil record provides permanent proof that early humans frequently survived and recovered from extreme physical trauma to live long lives. Once a prehistoric human reached their 20s, the heavily skewed numbers of early childhood mortality faded away. A healthy 20-year-old had an extremely high probability of living another 40 years to see 60 or beyond. They operated on the exact same biological machinery we have today. They grew old, they became grandparents, and they served as the long-term knowledge keepers for their tribes. Ancient humans were highly capable, biologically resilient survivors who successfully navigated an unforgiving environment so that the human lineage could continue.